Michael Hernandez of MLH Media and Valley Fight News, and I'm here today with a 559 Fights 99 middleweight tournament contender in Pedro Trujillo. Pedro, how are you doing today, man?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Just blessed to live another day.
Yes, you have done pretty well for yourself in the MMA sphere. How does it feel to get called over to 559 Fights, an organization that has done pretty well in promoting a lot of their champions to get to that professional level in the past? How does it feel to get called over for this tournament and to compete in it? What was the connection that got you over to 559 Fights, and how are you feeling going into this matchup?
Oh yeah. Well, we're supposed to. My buddies fought on those cars. I was supposed to fight a couple times. But I don't know
Oh,
what happened, but yeah, my coach, my jiu-jitsu coach, Prana knows Albert. But yeah, they're very close together, and they got me into this tournament, which I'm grateful for. So it's cool, just connections.
yes, it was definitely pretty cool. I seen you were at the CCFC card, so I didn't know if Jim Cooley was perhaps the one that was able to give you the heads up to head over to the 559 Fights promotion and kind of got you a little word in there. But it's nice to know that your coaches were able to get you in here to one of the better promotions over here in the California area. How does it feel to know that if you win this fight, you're possibly going to go compete for a title against either Larry Zavala or Giovanni Asensio? Giovanni Asensio, a guy you faced in the past and had a pretty spectacular performance against. So, how are you feeling with those cards stacked up against you on the other side of the bracket?
Yeah, on the other side of the bracket, hey, Giovanni, don't underestimate him. He's a very good boxer. Yeah, he's made it to like I believe the Tri Olympics for boxing. So he's a good deal. So, I have a game plan for him. Tough guy, tough guy. That's the guy I'm
Giovanni,
really hitting at. I'm
yes,
sorry.
Giovanni is definitely a very tough opponent. He has only lost to you, as a matter of fact. He has put on performances, pretty good performances every single time he has come out for 559 fights, and that has obviously got him to this spot here in this tournament. But for you, the reason why you got in this tournament is a lot of those wins that you've gotten, man, been in some pretty dominant fashion. Not only that Giovanni Asensio one, but also another one against Jordan Severde. That was also another TKO grounded pound win. And then you also had your first ever victory was another finish. So you were just a finishing machine. And
Yeah.
you've often been known to put on a show. Do you feel like that was a big reason why you were called upon for this card?
Yeah, of course. Everyone I face, I'm sure they know I'm not an easy fight. I train my hardest. And yeah, man, it just hard work works.
What really got you into MMA? I know you grew up over there in the Bakersfield area. I talked to Isaac Larave out of the Shoot MMA over there, and we just got a
Yeah.
little bit of talking. We kind of said some of the things he's seen growing up, were maybe not the best. Was that a little bit of the same situation for you? Did you maybe see some things growing up and wanted to learn how to fight, or was it just you seen something on TV one day and you're like, hey, let me try my hand out at this?
No, yeah. I actually didn't grow up in Bakersfield. I grew up in Lamont, which is small. It's not even on the map. But I've always wanted to try it out. Just wanted to try it out. I was too broke as a kid. Moms couldn't pay for it. And then I made my own money a little bit. Coaches helped me out, good people. And I just fell in love with it 2 years ago.
And if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing for work at the moment? Are you going to school? What are the outside trajectory plans for Pedro?
As of right now, yeah, I'm working at a door company, GH Slack and Son, and then I'm going to college for EMT, and then I'm wrestling as well for college.
Yes, where are you wrestling at? Bakersfield College?
Bakersfield College, yeah.
And then obviously, big shout out to you. You guys over there at Bakersfield College. You guys are the Road Runners, correct?
I'm sorry?
The mascot for the Bakersfield is the Road Runners, or what exactly is it?
No, that's CSUB.
Oh, CSUB. What is the one for Bakersfield over there? What's your mascot?
We're renegades.
The Renegade. There we go. There we go. I can only remember the yellow and blue. I was trying to remember what exactly it
Well, yeah,
was, but
I competed with some people there for a state tournament actually.
oh, that's
So
that's
yeah,
quite the full circle evaluation there. So
yeah.
how is it wrestling for college and then also competing for MMA? Have you realized like maybe is it a little conflictful at times, or have you managed to balance out that schedule pretty well?
Oh, guaranteed 100%. But my coach is very understanding. I told him my priorities were MMA. As hard as it sounds, I'm just doing wrestling to help me. And they understand. Actually, my wrestling coach is a black belt. So we get some rolling around after practice. So he supports me and lets me go to practices whenever I have to for MMA, especially for a upcoming fight like this one. I used to do like double 4:30 was wrestling up to 5:30, and then I get to practice at 6, and then yeah, I'll do another hour. So that was tough.
Yes, is it a little bit of a difficulty wrestling with all that hair that you got on that head of yours?
Pretty long, man. Pretty long. Yeah. No, yeah, I have to put it up like this. Because man, if I lay down, like say the chair's behind me, I
Yeah.
got I got get stuck on the mat. So yeah, I gotta tie that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to introduce you to my friend over at Hassle of Hair, Jesse Diaz. Man. You and him, I feel, would have a good conversation, not only about what hair products you guys possibly use, but just in general, some things to help with those hair problems, man. Because I have some decently long locks, and I can definitely understand your pain at some times. Just especially in the fight game, I can only imagine, my man. So I was curious for wrestling too, because I know sometimes those wrestlers they can be a bit much.
Oh yeah. Actually, I just for wrestling, I braided a little bit. We don't get on our backs, so I don't really have to worry about it pulling on it. So I leave it down for wrestling. But for MMA, a lot of good jujitsu guys, so I gotta tie that up.
Yeah, speaking about a lot of good jiu-jitsu guys, your opponent, Andrew Priolo, the Frost Giant, got to talk with him a little bit earlier this week. A brown belt in jiu-jitsu, is that something that you're very excited for? I know you love to go to the ground. That is something that you have a lot of fun doing. You even in your losses, you have oftentimes a lot of your losses have gone. With Thurott, you were often going against the cage, a lot of clinch work, and then with Jake Babian, a lot of work on the ground, and then obviously led to the fall into the triangle, but you like to get to the ground. So do you feel
Yeah.
like you and Andrew are gonna have a little bit of a jiu-jitsu grappling kind of competition here and mixed in with a lot of striking, or do you feel it's gonna play out on the feet? Because you can definitely swing and bang.
No, yeah. Yeah, wherever the fight goes, man, I'm sure he's gonna try to take me down. Who knows? He might bang with me. But I'm prepared for everything. I'm prepared for ground. Obviously taking down is probably gonna happen, but so I prepared up, getting back up and dominating on the ground. Just getting position, and because I know this guy is a very good jiu-jitsu guy, very good. So never gonna underestimate him. So we'll see. We'll see. Wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, man.
Yes, we shall see who is the ultimate winner at the end of the night for the wrestling department and the jiu-jitsu department as
Yep.
well. And it'll be a pretty good, I believe it'll be a pretty good display of not only wrestling art, but the jiu-jitsu art as well.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you had any plans for after this fight? I know you have some pro aspirations, some chances, some hopes of going to the professional, to Uriah Faber's A1 Combat, to UFC, Combate Global, etc., etc. Has there been anything that you have really like been coning in on? Has there been a time limit, like, hey, I gotta, go pro by this time? Or are you just really taking your time in the amateurs and just really feeling the scene out and seeing where you want to go from here?
I'm pretty young. I just turned 20 like 2 weeks ago, and so every fight, I'd rather lose in my amateur career. So like as learning experience, just like for my Jake Babian fight and my Joe Thurott loss, there's a lot of mistakes I've made. So I'm gonna probably get like 2 more fights because I don't want my pro record to have that a one at the end of it. I want to keep it at a zero. So I'd rather, fail now and then not fail later.
I feel like that's a pretty good thought out plan. Hopefully you are able to pull it over to execution. Has there been any loss? I know you've only had two on the record, but has there been any loss that has really stood out to you that has really been like, hey, I learned a lot from this fight? I know the Joe fight was obviously a grueling 3 rounds, so a whole lot more time to pull from that fight instead of the Jake fight. But I didn't know if maybe it was one of your wins that you felt you just learned a whole lot from.
No, yeah. Jake Babian fight, yeah, I learned a lot. Throughout all my fights, I still don't know my true potential. First one I slipped up with triangle, props to him. So now I know not to get caught in the triangle. So I learned that. And with Joe Thurott, my back was against the fence a lot. So now I know not to take my back on the fence. Been turning and so yeah, every match is a learning experience, and it's very great for amateur.
Yeah, I feel you have definitely picked up on a lot of those lessons. Even in the third round of that Joe fight, there was a couple of those sequences where I was like, oh, yeah, obviously knowing the result beforehand, I was like, oh, maybe is he going to get the best of this exchange, you know? But there was a couple of those times there where you were putting him on some thin ice. Did you feel the same in that fight? Did you feel like, hey, I may have got him here, I may have clipped him?
Yeah, guaranteed 100%. I feel like I had it. But then again, I'm tough on myself. He is a champion, so I should have dominated him. So, it was my loss.
And for you, you have the MMA Fight Pass belt, and I believe they're now kind of defunct, or they're not really throwing out fights anymore as often. And you're looking to collect a little bit more of a belt. So if some more belts. So if you collect this 559 Fights middleweight belt, were you looking to defend it and perhaps go to other promotions and capture some more belts and get on that chase, or just really ride out this 559 Fights career and just see how many defenses you can get with that middleweight strap?
Yeah, to be honest, right now, belts don't mean nothing to me. I just want to fight the best of the best, so I'm ready to win a pro belt. This is my mindset is beyond just amateur career. It's belts are not on my mind right now. The best people are on my mind. I want to know my true potential before I actually enter the big dogs.
Phil, you have done a tremendous job of bringing on the best of the best. I feel like every single time point in your career, and even now, you're bringing on Andrew Priolo, a guy that has been out of the scene for 7 years. But when he was at the top, when he was fighting, he was very dominant, and obviously still has the potential to be very dominant that frame. And obviously, he can put it on. So it will definitely be a pretty interesting fight, and a very good one to watch at 559 Fights 99. Have you perhaps looked at the past 559 Fights middleweight champion Joaquin Garcia? I know he was a potential opponent for Jake Babian in the past. If he was to return and to try and fight for that middleweight strap, would you be open to taking a fight against him? Another prominent grappler, another guy that has had some success in the 559 Fights promotion. Would you be open to possibly fighting him if you were the middleweight champion?
I'll fight anyone, man. So many people turned down me. I've never turned down a fight. Yeah, no. So I'm just trying to rack up my fights, and I really don't know the man. I don't know the man. I didn't know he was a champion, but if he does sign the contract, I'll know everything about him. I'll study him up and down.
Yeah, I feel you have had damn near as many fights as you have had canceled one. Has that been something that has been frustrating for you as someone that has wanted to get this experience that you've stated? I know you were very young, only 20 years old, but still you're wanting to get this time in on the octagon and on the amateur scene before you hit a certain age point. So has it been frustrating to have a lot of these opponents drop out or to not have things fall through? Or for you, are you just taking it as another part of the process?
No, yeah, I try not to let it get to me because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen even now and even in the pro. But no, yeah, it is frustrating because you train so hard, so hard, so hard, and like, oh, well, he's gone. All right, next month we're back in fight camp. Like I'm having a long fight camp, and just draining my body, and so it's frustrating, but it's worth it. Gave me a 2-month fight camp.
In your off time from your last fight in February, you have done a little bit of training of outside with a couple of other gyms. You were at a Ruka with a couple of people I'm familiar with, and Jason Perillo, Cheeto Vera, and with Max Tucker and all those people. How was it to go train over there? How did that come about? Just let us know that experience, man. How was it to train over there?
No, yeah. Well, it's nerve-wracking knowing the name to the gym, but I've trained at Glendale where Ronda Rousey trained with some Olympians as well. And then so the nerves kind of helped after that. Then I went to Ruka, my boy from Shoot, Adrian. He invited me out, and now me and Wyatt, Luke Rockhold's sparring partner, me and Wyatt, yeah, me and him are close now. So it's like I got a good partner. It's very good, but it's a long drive for training.
Yes, it would be a very long drive. Would you be open to perhaps moving to the Los Angeles area? Bakersfield is about a what 2 hour drive, 1 hour and 45 minute drive. Would you be open to making that move?
So to here, yeah, of course, of course, if they offer me, I'm willing to commit my life. I've committed my life these past 2 years just being dirt broke just in my gym. So, of course I would. Of course I would.
Was it pretty surreal to be training next to guys like how you said, guys I've trained with the likes of Luke Rockhold, even you were sitting next to Cheeto Vera, guys that you've seen on TV, and you've probably emulated some of the things that they have done. Obviously, Jason Perillo, one of the best trainers that there is possibly in the MMA sphere, in boxing as well. Obviously, very accomplished boxer as well. So how was it to get to just dissect these minds? Was it for you, was it like, oh man, like I know obviously you were saying it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but did you feel like you absorbed just a lot of information from that? It just was the one session, correct?
No, for this whole fight camp, I've been going every week. So it just the fact of the history of RVCA. I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing, but I really don't look up to no one, but I respect them so much. Of course, it's a blessing to go to them, and actually, Jay Pereira, it's an honor to actually have him corner me while I spar. And Cheeto Vera, Luke Rockhold, Mackenzie Dern, they're all watching me, and just coaching me on, and it's amazing. It feels cool. They make me feel like family to them, even though I just go once a week. Humble guys, they're cool.
Yeah, even Siniso Estrada, the very famous boxing champion over there, gets a lot of work over there with Jason Perillo. So Perillo is the man, one of the nicest guys that I've ever got the chance to talk to. So definitely a very cool guy, also a very funny guy, definitely very humorous as well, and can chop it up with the best of them, man. But has there been any gyms that you have perhaps wanted to get some training in at? I know you've obviously talked about training at a couple of the gyms that a lot of the greats have trained at. You trained at over in Glendale where Ron Rousey used to train, over at Ruka. Has there been any spots in that you've been looking at? Like, hey, that'd be pretty cool. You got King's MMA, you got all kinds of spots. I mean, there's so many spots in Los Angeles that you would be able to go to. Los Angeles Muay Thai, there is Fight Science MMA, so many spots over there in the Los Angeles area as well, just all over California. Has there been any spots you've been circling and like, hey, I want to go hit up that mat and see what I can do?
Honestly, no, just I'm cool with the people I have right now. They're perfect partners, and yeah, if I get to train with other people, I would love it. More competition, but it's a higher risk to get injured. You know what I mean? I like to keep a good person that will put a beating on me and stick with them. You know what I mean? And it was funny actually for the Ronda Rousey guy, my boy. We're at the beach, and then I was just wrestling my girlfriend, and then my boy just comes around, hey, brother, you wrestle? I'm like, yeah, I wrestle. And then he's like, oh, cool. And he's like, I wrestle too. And I'm like, really? Cool. And I didn't think nothing of it. And he shows me his Instagram. I'm like, whoa, this dude's Olympic champion for Greco. I'm like, what? And then it's so cool, so cool. He's like, I like challenged him because he was my weight. He said he was 185. I'm like, hey, bro, you want to wrestle?
Yeah.
All right, fine. So we take off our shirts and then we start grappling. I actually took him down. And then he just mollywopped me afterwards. And then after that, we exchanged Instagrams. He's like, hey, you're a good partner. Come over. And, just a blessing. Right time, right place. And it was just amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. Did you want to maybe give a little bit of a plug for their Instagram, a little bit of a shout out? I know they obviously have way more followers than what I have, but, a little bit of a plug for any of the fans that were interested.
My boy Maximum, if you want to give right there.
Hey, man.
Yeah, dude is a beast. I love him.
It seems
all my
like
training partners.
I was gonna say, it seems like you have a lot of love for your training partners, especially the ones over there in the Bakersfield area, the people that have stuck by you for the longest. Are a lot of those people looking to make that drive for this upcoming fight on July 29th?
Yeah, I got my training partners coming. They never let me down. They always show up. My boy, yeah, they're all showing up, showing love. So it's fun. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited.
I feel like you are definitely very poised to have a very good performance. You and Andrew have just been talking to both you gentlemen this week. It seems both of your spirits are in very high states. And usually when I talk to two men and they're both of them are not even so much like, hey, like super cocky about it, but just ready to go out there and showcase their skills. I feel like that always looks to put on the best fight. So I'm very excited to see not only what you put into that cage, but also what Andrew puts in that cage across from you. And also on the other side of that bracket as well, very excited to see Larry and Giovanni throw down. That's going to be a hell of a stand-up fight to watch. Are you going to stay for the whole entire fight card, or are you planning on, once your fight is done, to head back over to that Bakersfield area and get some rest, plan out for your plan out for your next opponent for whatever the circumstances may be?
No, man, I love fights, man. I love watching them, you know. Literally, I fear fights too, man. But I love them so much, and I love watching them, man. I'm gonna stay. I went all the way over there. I'm gonna watch all the fights, you know. Show love to everyone. Everyone that step foot in that cage, they got my love and respect, man. It takes a real man to really step in there, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
yeah, I'm excited for them.
I feel you're part of one of the very best 559 fights cards, one of the best amateur cards I've seen in quite a while. I feel from top to bottom, this card is gonna really put a lot of people's perspectives of amateur MMA into completely different waters. And you are definitely a very big part of that. So I wanted to thank you for what you are doing for the game and for everything that you have been putting your work into, man, because I know it definitely can get very tiring, especially with the schedule you've been laying out. You know, you're doing your work for the door company, doing your work for the wrestling, and then also doing your work in the MMA sphere, man. So shout out to you, man, and also taking this fight with Andrew, man. I know it's going to be a hell of a fight, man. Any last words that you want to give? Any last big shout outs? Anybody that you wanted to, you know, any of your sparring partners maybe that's been pushing you to the limits for this camp? Or has there been any sponsors that, like, hey, they put a lot of money into me for this camp? Like, you really wanted to give them a big shout out? Anything of that sort?
Actually, yeah. Prosper MMA, you know, helps me out a lot. He got me training with Brian Battle, UFC. CMOS, you know, and who else? Promotion, my chiropractor. Big shout out to my training partner, Junior Rafael, #1 in state. My boy, he's a dad, actually. He's not even a fighter. He's giving amazing rounds. Amazing rounds. Carlos Mejia, big thank you, brother. And Coach Gill, Coach Art, Coach Piranha, everyone that's been helping me and believing in me and giving me the chance to, you know, train with them. So yeah, big shout out to all of them.
Yeah, I feel like it is going to be a hell of a fight, as I've stated before, on Saturday. But if you guys have not made sure to purchase your tickets yet, make sure to go ahead and buy your tickets. What are you doing? So you don't go to the gate and they tell you, hey, we're out of tickets, or hey, da 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 da. Make sure to buy it now. Head to eventbrite.com, look up 559 Fights 99. It's going to be one of those first links to click. If you guys get the opportunity, make sure you enter my boy's name, Pedro, and I believe you get some sort of help from that, correct? Or if they buy directly from you, it kind of helps you out, correct?
Yeah, it does help a lot. You know, that's very cool that they do that for amateur fighters. You know, we're all broke, so we need a little bit of money, you know, putting our life on the line. So, you know, if you put my name, that would mean a blessing. You know, thank you so much. You know, so yeah, hopefully to see everyone there.
Yes, it will be a very interesting matchup between Pedro Trujillo and Andrew Priolo for the 559 Fights 99 middleweight tournament. It's also going to have Larry Zavala and Giovanni Asensio throwing down on the other side. And whoever wins this one, folks, looks like they will be competing for that middleweight strap. And it will hold some pretty big holdings over there for the 559 Fights promotion. You know, you got Joaquin Garcia over there in the Lumi, the former champion. He's still in the amateurs. You got a couple of other guys in the middleweights that are looking at that title. So whoever does win that title, they will definitely have their line of challengers looking to go ahead and knock them off that throne, man. So thank you so much for your time today, Pedro. It was awesome getting to talk to you before this fight. Really excited to get to see you compete. And yeah, thank you so much for your time today, brother.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Hope you're ready, bro. I'm coming with a bang, man. I've been putting my life into this.
Hey, man. Well, hopefully I get to talk to you a little bit afterwards, man. You know, get to talk to all those victors, get to talk to everybody that, you know, wins their fights, man. So I always tell all the fighters the best incentive, you know, you win your fight, you got to come talk to me after. So, you know, it's always a good time.
I'm gonna see you soon. I'm gonna see you soon.
All righty, my man. Michael Hernandez of MLH Media and Valley Fight News, and we are going to be signing out with Pedro Trujillo. out of One Nation Combat. Alrighty, brother.